Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This week we've got an exciting episode. We're going to be joined by Tanner Olson. He is a poet who actually knows it. And so I'm excited for you to hear from him. He reads poetry live on the podcast, but he's somebody who has really stepped into and embraced this unique kind of platform in his life to tell really amazing stories and to share things that bring hope into the world. And he just wrote a book called Getting Through What You're Going Through. And this is a book of poetry. There's poetry that will make you cry, there's poetry that will make you think, and there's poetry that will make you laugh. Even a recipe for a great day. And it's a fantastic read, but also we're going to give one of these away. So we've got a signed copy from Tanner himself that we want to give to one of you. And so the instructions on how to win that giveaway are in the show notes. Also, you can go over to Instagram at evdayadventure, and we'll make sure to get you all the details and all the info so that you can win this book. But without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode with poet Tanner Olson. Hey everybody, and welcome to today's episode. Today I am with Tanner Olson, or Written to Speak. How's it going, Tanner?
It's so good. I am happy. I mean, we were just catching up, and I feel like we are long lost friends
I
that have
know.
finally found each other.
Honestly, there's many amazing things about doing a podcast, but one is definitely like the amount of friends I've made through a computer screen. And so many of them, I've gone on to meet them in person. So we're going to make that happen.
Yep, I'm coming up to Fargo.
Let's do it. Fargo is where it's at. And you actually are.
Is
Hopefully
there like a tagline for Fargo? Do you guys
I,
have one?
I don't, I don't know. Everybody just thinks about like the wood chipper. That's about all
That's
people.
basically it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
More than
Fargo,
the more than the wood chipper.
I'm sure there is. I feel bad that I don't know that, but you know, I was just at a retreat in California and there were so many people from all over the country. And when I would say where I'm from, the answer is like, oh, I've never been there. That's the only state I haven't been to. Or that's one of the last, like, why is it always the last one?
How many people were like, is that South Dakota or North
Oh,
Dakota? Which one was
everybody.
it? Yeah.
Also, one of the speakers made me stand up and show how pasty my legs were.
Rude. That's pretty
Yeah,
rude,
that
but
I'm like,
understandable.
other
Yeah.
people live in cold places too, but
Yeah.
just because I'm from North Dakota. But man, no, this is exciting. You're somebody I've followed from afar. That sounds creepy.
Not creepy at all. It's the age of the internet. You're allowed
Yeah,
to say that. Yeah.
it would be creepier if in person, I was following you from afar. But
Yeah, we would take care of that real
yeah,
fast. We would shut it down. Yeah.
but no, I've just really gravitated towards your words and what you're doing. And on Instagram, it's at Written to Speak. And something that I've loved actually, and I actually tried to like copy you for a little while. I'm just gonna be honest about it, is
Oh, you should. Yeah.
so many of your posts are just your words. And I think
hmm
in an age where, it has to move fast and there's all these tutorials about how to, have start with motion and all these things. Like you're just putting up your words and like highlighting
Yeah.
a few words of it. Like how did you just kind of hone into that or like lean into that?
Well, I've seen all those like posts like how to go viral or how to like engage your followers, and I'm just like, make me throw up faster. I don't have time for this. Like I'm not I have hard enough time just like being on the internet. I don't want to try to trick you into liking me or following me because I can't keep up with that. Like that's just not how I do things. So I was like, well, I
Right.
just want to show up really as like my full self on the internet, which is impossible to do. But to basically, I want to give you what I have. And what I have are a lot of words. And so I'm just going to give those. And if it connects with somebody, then it connects with them. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I can look at like my metrics on Instagram and it's so funny. Like every day I'm like losing people because I've posted a lot of words, and then I'm gaining followers because I've posted a lot of words. So it's just like I don't know, my whole philosophy with the internet or with living is like I can really only just give you what I have.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna try to trick you into liking me. I've got plenty of people who don't like me. You can join them. It's okay.
Yeah. No, that's powerful though. I mean, it's a lot less exhausting, you know.
It really is. Yeah.
Has that has that ever been a battle, of kind of I think there's always going to be that internal, human pull of like, oh, it didn't get the response I was hoping, or how have you kind of dealt with that?
Well, the internet is just one big game, and we're all losing. So there's that. That's kind of like my negative philosophy towards it. Um, but I've posted a bunch, I've posted a ton, and sometimes things connect with people, and other times they don't. And then other times I will repost the thing that didn't connect, and it will connect with people later on. It's very interesting how it all works. And so, like, I'm also in the mindset of like, not everyone is going to see what you share, and not everyone is going to connect with what you share in that moment. It's kind of like when you read through scripture and all this, you just kind of read the same story again and again and again, and then eventually it like catches your eye. And you're like, oh, I needed this. This is what I
Yeah.
needed to sit with today. And sometimes I think poetry can kind of be the same thing, but, I'm not really on Instagram to get. I'm just trying to like spread hope. Like that's been the thing from the very beginning of when I started writing is like I just want to encourage people to keep living, to remind them that God loves them and that everything is going to be okay, even though everything isn't okay
Yeah.
today. So that kind of eases my like outlook on sharing things online.
Yeah.
And I also know it's just the internet, and if our prayers get answered, it could go away tomorrow. You know?
For sure. I think that's so cool though. I mean, and like I've read some of your past work and just followed you on social media for a while. But so much of the themes that keep coming out and really in your newest book of poems and notes is getting through what you're going through. But a huge theme is slowing down, putting your phone
Hmm.
away, paying attention, persevering, but like not like Rocky, win the fight. It's just like the fight is getting through today. The fight is that relationship that didn't go the way that you thought it would. And just that ordinary life, which is something that really deeply resonates with me and obviously with this podcast, with this audience.
Hmm.
But when it comes to like life to the fullest, how would you define that? Like, how would you define like what Jesus says in John 10:10? I've come to give you life and life abundantly, or life to the fullest.
It's a loaded question. I have about 400 answers, so sit with me for a
Perfect.
minute. But like what comes to mind is like we get to live our lives as a response to the open tomb. And so we are forgiven, we are loved, we are redeemed. We get to live in grace. We get to rest in God's goodness. And so I think living life to the fullest means just continuing to walk with the Father. And in that, then I don't have to worry. I don't have to be concerned. I can just live knowing that I'm loved. But then that looks different for all of us. Like the way that I live life to the fullest, the way that I live my life as a response to the open tomb looks different than the way that you do it. And so it's really just
Yeah.
like taking the things that God has placed in my heart, the things that He's created me to do, whether that's like to be a writer or a poet or a speaker or a husband or a father or a friend, and then just doing that and understanding that I get to do that with joy, and that I'm loved because I'm loved, not I'm not loved because of what I have done. Yeah, that's my
That's
answer.
good. I love it.
Is it good? Did I pass the test?
Yeah.
Is
Should I
this good?
snap? Do you
Yes.
need me to
Oh, no, no,
snap
we
every
don't.
time?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no
All right.
snapping. I'm
I
not that
wasn't
kind of
sure.
poet. No.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure everybody that's listening just snaps the whole time we're listening. But no, I think that's so good. And I actually, that was partially a test because in one of your poems, The Secret of Living, you
Oh,
actually
yeah.
talk about life to the full. And
Yeah.
I I loved part of what you said is I found the secret to living a full life. It begins with slowing down, breathing deep, and giving thanks. And it involves pulling another chair to the table and remembering hope remains and saying yes to another slice of cake.
Cake is very
Yeah.
important when it comes to living a full life. Any kind of sugary gluten, and I apologize to anybody who's allergic to gluten
Yeah.
or doesn't
There's
love,
other
is like,
options. Yeah.
it's like I have a salt tooth, not a sweet tooth. There are other, yeah, we can
Gluten-free cake.
substitute. I don't know about that, but we can substitute.
Yeah, they're out of luck.
That
Yeah.
last line of the poem is really like, interpret for self. Maybe
Yeah.
it's Taco Bell, maybe it's like a Caesar salad, maybe it's a walk on the beach. I don't know.
Fill in the blank there. But no, that's
Yes.
so good though. I think just that idea of giving thanks and slowing down and really, I really fight for this belief that the life to the full isn't just eternal life as much as that
Hmm.
is part of it, but
Hmm.
it's what it looks like today.
Hmm.
And I think that we have everything that we need to live that full life. It's not found in achieving more, succeeding in something, knowing the right person. It's God gives us what we need for today. But why do you think, just even to that idea of slowing down, like that's obviously been a buzzword for several years. It's one that you've obviously jumped onto being a voice for that, and I have as well. But why is it so hard to resist? And then part two to that is how did you get to that point? Because I think that's when somebody starts talking about slowing down, it's like, how did you get to that point where you can actually do it and talk about it?
Well, my wife would tell you that I've not mastered this whole slowing down idea. I think
Yeah.
I write and talk about a lot of these things because it's really what I need to hear and to be reminded of.
Yeah.
I write what I am working through, learning, hoping to implement into my life. I'm really bad at slowing down, but I want to be somebody who's good at it. I'm getting better at slowing down, and I'm getting better at other things like resting or being not living as distracted. But all these things they take practice and they take time and they take talking about. I think one of the reasons why become so popular is because a lot of what is highlighted or shared or talked about is how we live fast-paced lives. We're always on the grind, always. I hate the word grind, by the way, but it's like the word, right? It's like always like scaling or
Yeah.
growing or getting bigger, faster, stronger, more money, like all of the things. So we talk about it a lot. And so if we're talking about that a lot, like if that's the thing that we're focusing on, then we also have to talk about the other side too. So slowing down has become, I think, more popular or more a part of the conversation because we have seen how unhealthy and how unrealistic it is to live a life where you are chasing the fullest rather than resting
Yeah.
in the gift that is the fullness in God. It's like we're trying to make our lives something so much better, bigger, like richer, when it's already offered in Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of it is like the counterfeit or it's always a counterfeit. And so life to the
Hmm.
fullest gets a new definition, to the world. It's, a full house, a full garage, a, full bank account. I think that's why it's so why I really fought hard to like help try to define it. And I don't have like a buttoned up definition for it either. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that invitation to follow him is what I would say is the greatest adventure. But I think something that you did say is like you're not perfect in the slowing down thing. And if I were to interview your wife, which I know it's the same way for me. Like my wife just read my book for the first time, when it came out, and I was watching her, which it was very entertaining to me, just to see how she's going to react to different things. But there's things of vulnerability in there that sometimes I get right, sometimes I don't, and I tried to be as honest
Hmm.
as I can in that. But I think that's one of the reasons people really resonate with your words is because they are always honest and there's that vulnerability. You write on, you know, anxiety and doubt and perseverance and staying when it's hard. Um, so how did you just come to grips with those things? Like, was that like and writing on those things? Because I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that struggle with that. That's why I think, you know, your words, people gravitate towards them. It's because they feel those things. So how did you get to that point?
Uh, I've been getting this question a lot recently, and I was never like, this might sound bad, but I was never like intentional about it. Or
Yeah.
maybe I was super intentional about it, but I was always just under the belief that as a writer, I want to give you what I have. And so what I have in this season and this season and this season might be about, it might be about slowing down. It might be about anxiety. It might be about doubt. It might be about questions. It might be about, like mental health type stuff. And so I'm going to write about that and I'm going to share about it. And I have learned, like, I've been able to work through a lot of just like my own humanness, like
Yeah.
by myself with friends, sitting down with other people, like walking through the questions, the answers, the heaviness. And so then when I write about it and share it with my readers, it's not exhausting to me. I'm just like, this is what I've gone through. Like, what have you gone through? Like, it's not this comparison thing. I really only know that I can just give you what I have, and hopefully that will help you get through what you're going through. It's never been this like intentional thing of like I'm gonna be somebody who speaks about anxiety. It's like that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a brand. I'm just trying to be a guy who writes words and then offers them to you in the most like wholesome, authentic way possible. Like when I do like when I go and do events and I share poetry and tell stories on stage and um, like I just kind of like step up on stage. I have my book with me. I know the stories that I'm going to tell and I just kind of offer it and see where the night takes us. I'm not this super polished individual. Like I'll leave the stage and they'll be like that was like that was relaxing. That was nice. It wasn't a performance though. I was like, no, it's
Right.
not a performance. Like I'm just a person. And I don't want people to think I'm trying to perform my way through life. I'm just a poet. I'm just trying to give you what I have and hopefully inviting you to see something a little bit more differently and hopefully that you can see the love of God more clearly in your day to day.
Well, I think that's what poetry does is it it starts with the author, the person writing the poem, but it always ends
Hmm.
connecting with the person, or at least good poetry does, And I think that you do that so well. And one of the things that I've just kind of been picking up on as I've started my writing journey is just like I think writers just pay attention to more. Because somebody is has asked me, like, how do you have all these stories? And it hasn't always been like that. But I remember having this role with a college ministry where I was the guy that did announcements. And the guy before me, the way he did announcements was he told a story and then he tied it into something that people would resonate with. And so I just was like, oh, out of necessity, I had to like start thinking about it. But I was just with Bob Goff for a week. And if
Hmm.
you've heard his writing or heard him speak, he's just like a story machine. He just speaks in story. And it's like so much is he's captured so much in his life. But I walked away from that week going like, I think he just pays more attention. He pays attention to the chicken. He pays attention to, what people's responses to him. He pays attention and then he's able to talk about it. And so what have you found in your own life just about the idea of paying attention? Because I mean, I love it. One of your poems, and this isn't exactly how it starts, but it's essentially like I was eating a pancake today.
That's
Like it's
basically it.
it's
Yep.
like you're just observing and then writing and expressing.
I get to speak at a lot of different like at schools and share poetry with students of all ages and in colleges and in conferences too. And oftentimes afterwards, somebody will come up to me and they'll be like, "Hey, give me some writing advice. Like, what's your best writing advice?" My best writing advice is my best living advice, which is to pay attention. And people want like
Yeah.
so much more than that. And I'm like, that's literally it. Like I am just always I am looking for the next story and I'm also looking for connections between things. And it's hard to shut it off too. Like once you start, like your brain is working on overload. And that's one of the reasons why I have such a hard time like maybe slowing down is because I'm always looking for something or the next poem is always being written in my head or the next essay is always like being crafted as I'm driving or just navigating life. Like the other day we were at church and 2 rows in front of us was a guy and he was sitting by himself, and his collar was like turned up a little bit, and he didn't know, and it was bothering me. uh he didn't know that it was bothering me. He didn't know that he put his shirt on the wrong way. He didn't know that. But I was like, and then a friend came and sat next to him, another guy, and he put his arm on his shoulder, gave him a side hug, appropriate for church, and then he like fixed his collar. And I cannot tell you the amount of relief my whole entire body felt when this happened. I put my arm on my wife, and I was like, that's
God,
great.
God
And
is good.
she was like, that was bothering you, wasn't it? And I was like, so much. Like I couldn't focus on it. And I was about to like be like, that's not my place. But I'm paying attention. Like I'm looking for all these
Yeah.
things. And so even that right there, like I'm gonna write about that. I don't know where it's gonna show up, if it's gonna show up anywhere. It might just be like a writing exercise. It might be a Substack post. It might be in my next book. But there is something about seeing what's happening in the world and then watching how it unfolds and watching how it plays out. And you also have to do this really in your own life as well. If you start paying attention to your life, to the prayers that you are praying, to the ways in which God is working in your lives and your friends' lives and just in your community in general, like then you begin to see more that is happening, right? You're more engaged,
Yeah.
you're more aware, and then you can, I don't know, for me, I feel like I am living my life to the fullest. Part of that is because it's intentional because I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think bringing this to the person that maybe is going, okay, that's great advice for a writer, um, always look for the next story. Like, how would you prescribe to somebody who's just like, I never want to write. I hate writing. English was the worst,
Enjoy
Um,
your career as an accountant. I'm so proud of you. That
yeah.
must be great.
But like, how would they, how would paying attention, um, like impact their life?
Well, what are they already paying attention to? Right. It's probably, I mean, your phone or the things that worry you. But what if we put our phones, and I write about this, 900 times in this book, but like we put our phones down, we open our hands and we look up and we look around. Like that in itself is paying attention. And maybe you're not paying attention to write a story, but maybe you're paying attention to say a prayer. Maybe you're paying attention to take your mind off of the thing that you're just thinking about again and again and again. So you don't have to write about it. You don't have to turn it into a poem. But what if just like give it a shot and see what does this change? And I think by paying attention, you'll be led you'll be led down this road of gratitude, of thankfulness, of compassion, and you'll start to see things that you didn't see before, which is a gift.
Yeah.
But you don't have to write about it, but you can live paying attention. And I think it'll take you a little bit deeper than you want to go.
I love that. I mean, I think even just the attention to other people thing, and sometimes it's like people watching and that's
Hmm.
entertaining and fun in itself, but there's so many times where you can when you do notice the person that's struggling to empty their shopping cart, and
Yeah.
that item is too heavy and you can help them or whatever the
Hmm.
case is. And I know for me it's like a resistance to not stand in that shopping cart line with my phone or
Oh,
just to
yeah.
always choose the self checkout, because it's easier and I don't have to like that's something that and I read it, I think it was in John Mark Comer's Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, of like choose the
Yeah.
longest line and
Yep.
go to the line where you're actually gonna see a person.
And I almost agree with him on that, but sometimes you just got to get going. And sometimes it just takes way too long. I agree. We should go talk to people. We should
Yeah,
do that. But it's a long line. And
understandable.
lead me not to temptation, John Mark Comer. Like but I mean, there is that though of like, just because it's easier does not mean it's better. Just because
Absolutely.
it's faster does not mean it's right. And so, like, when it comes to the checkout line or holding on for just another minute or two longer, I think, like, the big thing that, at least for me, I am happier uh, when I'm on my phone less. And it's so easy for me just to, like, we've all had this conversation 900 times, but like to pull out our phone, grocery store or in line or at the stoplight or when our kids are doing their thing, we're like, well, this is the gift, man. Like, what is happening right in front of us? And I'm not saying like get rid of your phone. Maybe we should, but maybe this is not the best time to scroll through, 37 Instagram ads and see one thing that actually has meaning, you know?
Right.
And so I think for me, it's like, what do I want to get out of this life? And then, like, when I get to the end of it all, I don't want to be like, oh, I did a lot of really great scrolling. I did a lot of really good avoiding, because
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing is I'm just avoiding. I want to be like, why I was present. I was here and I fought. I'm going to call it the dragon. I fought the dragon and I stayed present. I wasn't just like, oh, let me get on my phone now. Self-medicate myself so I can
Yeah.
make it through a Thursday when it's actually not that bad in reality.
Yeah, that's good. And I know one of the poems is it's something about Monday, how to get from Monday to Friday or something like that.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And we're recording this on a Monday, so this is very appropriate.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And it'll be
it-
released on a Monday. So
oh, this is great.
yeah,
Okay, well,
everything
buckle
is
up,
right in the
everybody.
world.
I wrote all of this while I was paying attention, by the way. I'm just kidding. It's titled How to Make It from Monday to Friday. To get from Monday to Friday, you'll have to get out of bed 5 times. Some weeks this will seem like a lot, but most good gifts can feel overwhelming at first. To make it to the weekend, you'll need to do things to keep you going. Get outside, take a break from screens, hold fast to the truth, eat chocolate of any kind, brownies, chocolate chip cookies, hot chocolate, cake, Reese's peanut butter cups, or if you're fancy, you can get the dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's, but I am warning you, you'll get addicted. Make plans so you can have something to look forward to. Leave your phone in the other room, but be sure to call your mom or dad or sibling or someone who can remind you that you are loved and seen and prayed for. Take a minute to watch videos of dogs on the internet or watch them at the park. Let the dirty dishes pile up before you wash them down. Scroll through Zillow and dream. Walk the neighborhood. Sing with the music loud and the windows down. Order some sort of seasonal latte. Count your blessings. Count them again. Give yourself moments of stillness and stretching and silence. Spend a few nights in your favorite sweatshirt. Speak with God. Short prayers, long prayers, morning, afternoon, and evening prayers. Don't forget to watch the sun rest and rise. And as the colors mix with the sky, remind yourself that you were made to do both rest and rise. Empty your hands, but keep holding on to hope. Confess your sins and go forward with grace. To get from Monday to Friday, you'll have to get out of bed 5 times. What a gift.
So good. So good. And
So it
I
was so fun. It's so fun to write those kinds of poems, reflections, whatever you want to call them, because it's like the reminders that I need too.
yeah.
I'm not just like, but then someone else is like, oh, I needed to hear that also. And I'm sure you heard that with your book as well, as people would read it and they're like, oh man, you put into words what I needed to hear, what I was thinking, or what I was feeling. And it's like the best compliment a writer can receive is to be told that the thing that you've written helps somebody really get through what they're going through.
Absolutely. There's somebody that's listening to this right now on a Monday that's going like getting through Friday seems like a tough uphill battle. And just the words that you put to it. And I think that's the beauty of all of the poems. There's different themes, hope and all these things but you tie in this humor, whether it was, your second reference to cake on this
Cake.
short, journey we've had together. But also you have one called A Recipe to Cure Another Defeating Day.
Oh yeah. You
And
want that one too?
oh
Can
yeah.
I share that one?
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
it's really hard to like read. Not hard to read. The words aren't that big, but like it's more so of like a recipe. It'd be like if I was reading you a recipe to
Yeah,
to
it
get
and it's
from.
that's how it's formatted in the book, which is
Yeah, that
awesome.
one that one was they're all fun to write. But this is a recipe to cure another defeating day. It serves one. a half bag of jalapeno chips, Psalm 23, 73 dog videos, a prayer, 41 minutes of walking outside beneath the sun, a list of 25 things that bring you joy, 10 hours in sweatpants, another prayer, at least 2 pages of journaling, a mountain of blankets, 3 hours of petting a dog, as many phone calls with old friends as desired, two mixtapes from high school so you can sing at the top of your lungs as you drive with the windows down, a meaningful hug, season 4, episode 13 of The Office, something fried and dipped in sauce, another prayer.
I love it. It says mix ingredients together in any order. The phone calls are optional, but prayers are not. Remember, today is today and tomorrow is on its way. It's
Yeah.
so simple, but so good. And I told you this earlier, but my wife did question the lack of hours in sweatpants. She thinks that was a shame that it wasn't
Yep.
closer to the
Yeah.
24 mark,
That's
but
an as an editing oversight. It's my
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
I give your wife my sincerest
I will. I
apologies.
will. She'll
Yeah.
like you again, so that's good.
Oh,
Um, what is okay? Mixtape, high school mixtape. What are one
yeah.
or two of the songs that you're blasting windows down?
Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory. Literally anything like 2000, early 2000s pop punk. Uh, and then like this is a curveball, but also like Breathe by Michelle Branch.
Okay,
A
I gotta
thousand miles by
gotta.
Vanessa Carlton.
Oh, there we
Throw them
go.
on there. The
Yep.
windows are down. It's fine. Let's give the world a gift. But man, pop punk music,
Yeah.
this anything from like 2000 to 2005, put it on repeat. Let my heart sing.
So you saying Ocean Avenue was
Oh yeah,
fantastic because that's been like the go-to in my car recently. So my kids are 7, 6, and 3, and only one has become like one of their favorite songs. They just love
I
the
love
part
it.
about screaming your lungs out. They
Yeah. That's amazing. I the internet the other day gave me a video and I after this guy who just spent, an hour talking about get off your phone, but I got stuck scrolling on Reels, but it was all like old pop punk videos.
yeah.
But then it was like this parent filmed their three children in the back seat, like screaming in a Day to Remember song, and I was like, this is everything I could hope for as a dad. This was just it
That's
was
so
so
good.
fun. Yeah, it's something about that kind of music, and that's one of the ways that I got into writing poetry. It's like I really wanted to be in a punk band, but apparently you have to have some sort of like musical talent to be in a band, and I really
Ooh,
don't.
yeah.
I know, and so it was like I can't sing or play music, but I always connected with the words. And I think when you look at the songs, like the lyrics are they're pretty simple, but at the same time, like they paint a picture, they tell a story, and something about those songs just connected with me like deeply. And I wanted to then write poetry that did the same thing for other people.
Yeah.
And I think in like my own way, I get to live out this like pop punk dream, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you're on tour. It doesn't
I'm
matter what
torn.
the tour,
Yeah, yeah.
Like
There's no mosh pit. There might be a prayer circle afterwards, but there's no.
Oh, also, what is season 4, episode 13? I should have done my
It's
research.
dinner party.
Oh my, yeah, of
Yeah,
course. The
yeah.
TV. Uh,
I've gotten people like will be like, oh yeah, that episode. But I feel like I've the Google searches for that episode have gone way up since this book has been released, at
what
least
a
by five. But
yeah, at least by 5. What a hack. I was on an airplane and I just had like a 45-minute flight and it was late at night. I was like, I'm not gonna read right now. I'm just gonna watch something. And I watched The Office, and it was season 5, episode 7, where Michael says, "Why have I stayed at Dunder Mifflin for so long? Certainly not for the paycheck, because I could be making way more as a doctor or professional athlete." And I just like I don't know why. It's sometimes you just have to come back to home base,
yep,
for comedy to just make sense again. And
yes,
it's fantastic. But just a couple more things before we go. I think one of the things I always love to ask, especially somebody who's living with intentionality and is living, kind of that slowed down, even the efforts too, is
hmm
just kind of what are some rhythms or habits that are really grounding for you or that are like core to Tanner? For me, one of them is my wife and I, we do this monthly marriage meeting where we just talk about everything going on the next month. We plan date nights, we schedule babysitters. It's just like we just get stuff done that day. But that
That's
rhythm
brilliant.
has changed everything. So like what are a couple rhythms for you?
I try to watch the sunset every morning, sunrise every morning. We're so
Yeah, yeah.
close.
No, I got it. I shouldn't have
We'll
laughed.
edit
I'd
that
say
in
that all
post
the time.
production.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean honestly, man, like I wake up early, so I can write. We have a 2 year old, and so I'm usually up at like 4:30 until he wakes up at 6 or 7 or whenever.
Yeah.
And so I am in my office, which is also my wife's office, which is also our guest bedroom, and
And
I
basketball
watch
court.
and basketball court. You see it, but I try to watch the sunrise every morning as I write or work or read or whatever it is that I'm doing that morning. I want to take my, I try to take my mornings and my evenings really slow and to not have like my phone out. Trying to just live more, I guess, like analog.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, like that's my favorite time of the day is the morning because that's when I feel most creative, most like ready to take what I have going on inside of me and give it to the page or whatever it may be. But that's one of my big rhythms. I I don't want to miss a sunrise. And I don't know if you know this about them, but they're free. They are free.
They're free.
You have to go to bed a little bit earlier, but they are free. So,
That's good. Good tips. Everybody listening, write that down. Um, one of the things that we ask everybody on the podcast is just what are you celebrating and anticipating? What I've found, and I actually caught it in one of your poems of just it's it when you anticipate something, um, it brings that joy early, and sometimes what we do is we kind of look ahead 3 months, like, oh, I'm going on this trip or this vacation. And then what do we do from now until then? So I found that looking forward to something today and drawing that circle closer and closer is just really beneficial because then look forward to my kids coming home from school at 2:30. And it's like,
hmm
I can't wait for them to come through my office door and
yeah,
interrupt whatever I'm doing because I'm excited to see them. And
yeah,
otherwise, it's an interruption. I'm just like, guys, I'm
yeah.
doing something. So what is it that you are celebrating right now? It could be big, could be small.
Right now, it's that the weather is not the worst because it's March, so we've kind of like made it through
Where are you at?
the, we're in Nashville,
Oh,
and so very different. I know it's sorry, bud. There are other places to live. Um,
I was in San Diego for a week last week, and I'm full force understanding that. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and but that's like San Diego is its own thing.
yeah,
But I mean, we get to have all 4 seasons here. You get them all up there, different lengths and times. But like, I feel like we've made it through, and I am not good in the winter. I am more myself in the summertime. If it's sunny and warm out, I want to be around me. When it's cold and dark, I don't want to be near myself. Like that's just kind of how I feel. And so now, so we're kind of getting back into these some of my favorite like family rhythms where we go on walks every afternoon. We have a dog, and so we take our dog on a walk and we bring our son and we're just out. We're outside and then we come home and then we play in the backyard for another like hour or whatever it is. And like that to me is like this is living.
yeah.
Like we're all together, we're hanging, we're making it happen, and I don't know, it just feels like one big celebration every single day. And so
Love that.
that is the best. And it's just so good.
So good. And then what are you anticipating? What are you looking forward to?
Um, Longer summer nights.
Yeah.
We're creeping up on them, man. And I'm just gonna sit outside and I'm gonna read a book and I might
May
drink
I
something cold.
may I
It's gonna be
recommend?
I just put it in my cart. It's in my cart, my Amazon cart. Um, no, I think I mean the times when I get to just I mean it's the whole thing of the conversation, but really just to slow down
Yeah.
and to be because it's really hard. I mean, anybody listening to everyone has a lot going on. I know anytime I do an event or walk into a room or I'm around a bunch of people, like I know that it's really hard for them to be right where they are because they have a long to-do list or something is happening with someone that they love or with themselves, or they are something in their house is about to break or is already broken. Like it's just a lot to be a human being. And so finding those like seasons and slivers throughout the year where you get to just put down the thing that is weighing you down and spend time just celebrating that you're alive. Well, there's not much better than that.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Before we end, I think I want you to read one more poem if that's okay.
You
And
got it.
I want you to read Welcome Today. And then we'll kind of share with everybody where we can find not only this book, but just everything you're doing, because I think it's fantastic.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been super fun to chat with you. Um, and I'm excited to read your book. Okay, this is titled Welcome Today, and it goes like this. Welcome today. Welcome the mundane, because even the ordinary holds wonder. Welcome the simple, because life is anything but. Lean into now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Unclench your fists, turn your hands upward, and take what God is offering. Quiet mornings and early nights, laughter around the table, silence in the car, stuck in traffic but stuck together. A message from an old friend, a moment with a stranger who somehow feels like home, an answered prayer, the memory of a moment you'll never forget, the scent of coffee brewing, the sound of soft footsteps on the floor, the memory of the one who has passed, the colors of the morning sky, the flowers that push through the spring, reminding us that even the coldest winters pass. Pause in the peace. Let beauty break through. Reach out, hold on, don't let go of today. Because life happens in the moments we stop running, stop reaching, stop waiting for something else. Even if where you are isn't where you thought you'd be. Even if the road ahead looks nothing like the map you drew. Stay. Stay in the story. Stay in the mystery. The hope we hold carries us through the fire. The love we trust leads us through the storm. The life we seek is found in the life we have been given.
So good. It's
Oh,
a great
thanks,
place
man.
to bring it to an end. Is the life we seek is found in the life we've been given. That's just
Mm-hmm.
a core belief for me is like
Mm-hmm.
it's all here and
Yep.
it's not out there somewhere. It's we have enough today. God's
Hmm.
given it to us and he's with us and just thanks for taking this time.
Oh
I
yeah.
really enjoyed this and I selfishly I was hoping that you'd read some poetry, so I appreciate you doing that as well.
Oh my man, it was so much fun. I'm so glad we are connected now, and I can't wait to read your
Yes.
book. It's gonna be fun.
Man, you're
But
awesome.
really, yeah, man, appreciate you so much.
Yeah, where can people, I mean, I think it's the one is obvious, probably Amazon, but where can people get your book and also where can we kind of keep track of what you're doing, what you're up to, and then eventually when you're going to be in Fargo, North Dakota, we want to know that too.
Yes. I think I'll be in Fargo sometime in September of 2020. What, 2026.
Oh man, I thought you were
Um,
going to make me wait
oh
like a year and a
no.
half. I'm like,
Oh,
all
I
right.
would never. I would never. Yeah, but you can keep up with me on writtentospeak.com, Substack, and then Instagram. If you, I don't know if you'd ever see my posts because it's Instagram, but I'm at Written to Speak. But I send out, writings every week on Substack. That's probably the best place to connect with me. If you want to grab a copy of Getting Through What You're Going Through, you can find that on Amazon or order it at a local bookstore. It's an orange book with an orange on the cover, so you're not going to be able to miss it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to doing that. I know there's a lot of people are going to be ordering that and getting that because it is truly impactful. So thanks for doing it. Thanks for being you.
Thank you.
And thanks for connecting. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you.